welcome back to the Southern Snack, where life is too short to be serious. I took a quick road trip to Raleigh to try a few things, had to make a Biscuitville run, and now we are at Caribou Coffee, where we're trying a few items that may not be available by the time I get this review up, so that's just a disclaimer. But I'm pretty sure the sandwiches we're reviewing will be there. The Malted Mocha will still be there. I wouldn't think that the plant-based oat milk cold foam will be gone. They kind of look like they skipped me here, but whatever. But the one thing I'm really concerned about is the red velvet cake pop. So you're gonna want to, talk to your location to see. But that's the most exciting thing I'm trying, in my opinion, is that red velvet cake pop. You might like Starbucks' cake pops and everything, but the thing with Starbucks is they don't ever do nothing special, no new special flavors. So, we've got a special red velvet flavored cake pop here that we're reviewing from Caribou Coffee. So, more exciting than anything Starbucks ever does in terms of cake pops, if you ask me. So, I'm doing my best to kind of get a handle on everything. When Patrick says, oh, God, I dropped my cake pop. When he says firmly grasp it, well, I'm trying to firmly grasp it. So it's a struggle. It is a struggle. But yeah, 2 coffees, 2 sandwiches, and a cake pop. Now they look like they skipped me on this cold foam. You can barely even see it. I guess it must have drifted off to the bottom. And maybe that's the whole issue of it being oat milk, is that, it's thinner. It's a thinner layer of cold foam that's just not gonna get the job done. So I found a way to lay my cake pop, but now it's all about trying to get a grasp on these sandwiches. So I'm trying here to get my thumbnail together, and I do hope that you subscribe and like and comment on this video as I struggle. I'm putting in all the work here. I really am. Maybe if I just, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. That's not cake pop right there. Right? And that's your drinks. That's your thumbnail. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was fun to watch. I hope you liked that. Hopefully that was eye-catching enough to get you to watch this video. But this is cream cheese icing on a red velvet cake pop. Very interesting. It's kind of getting soft. I don't know. But we're gonna eat some of this. I do ask that you subscribe and like and comment on this video. So mukbang time, right? Let's try it. It's very dense, soft, and fudgy. But I definitely had higher hopes on it. It doesn't quite taste like red velvet. The icing kind of overpowers it in a way. I don't know if there's enough cocoa powder in there. It's fair. It tastes good. But the flavor is quite lacking. And for that, I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's good. And it's nice and fudgy. But it needs more cocoa powder. The color, very deep red. But I don't know what's up with the flavor. All right, moving on to the waffle sandwich. So there's the maple waffle sandwich. It's got egg. It's got chicken gouda sausage patty. No, I'm not saying that wrong. I think there's gouda on top of there, and then 2 maple waffles. So we're gonna take a couple bites here and tell you what we think. Very interesting. Of course, you got some maple flavor. The egg and the chicken, very interesting. And of course, it's got the spices that a sausage would have. I don't particularly love this, but I think it's got some good things going for it. And it's enjoyable. Plus, it's a leaner cut of sausage because you've got chicken rather than pork. I give it a 7 as well. It doesn't stand out, but it's pretty decent. All right, now we're moving on to the Just Egg Flatbread. It's got a vegan pesto cream cheese, vegan provolone, egg. So I don't know why they're bragging about it being vegan, all the vegan stuff, when it has egg, and egg's not vegan unless this is a freaking egg patty, which I'm pretty sure it's not, unless Just Egg is a brand that makes vegan eggs. If you could inform me on that, I'd be intrigued. So either this is completely vegan or it's heavily vegetarian, and it doesn't look as good as advertised, but that doesn't mean it's not good. So let's try it. Definitely very herbal with the pesto. The cheese really adds a nice touch of flavor. I know it's vegan, but it still does add a nice touch of flavor. I'm pretty sure this is real egg, but if it's not, they did a pretty daggone good job. The flatbread's nice and crispy. I think my one reservation is that it's just got a little bit too much to it. I just think, let the egg kind of speak a little bit louder here. Because it does have a lot of cheese. It has a lot of pesto. There's a little bit too much of everything. You should know your limits. You should know your restrictions. And it really would take this thing a lot farther for me if it didn't have so much busyness to it. It's just a little bit of a flavor overload. And I don't feel this way about a lot of things, but I just feel like this particular item just has a bit much to it. I would say, I don't know. I guess I like the waffle sandwich a bit more, just because that's got a little bit more focus to it. While this is not bad, it just needs to kind of layer down. I would give it like a 6.5, because I was close to saying it would be on level with that waffle sandwich, but I just think it's a bit too busy. All right, so there's no cold foam to be seen, but hopefully we can taste it somewhere in there to be able to tell you exactly what it's like. So, oat milk cold foam. Okay, I need a straw. Good thing I got like 100 of them. So, we got a Chick-fil-A straw. Wish I was at Chick-fil-A. I would be at Chick-fil-A today, but their test market item doesn't come out till next week, or the 13th, which is, we're like the 11th right now, so that's the Monday after this review. I would be at Chick-fil-A getting that cauliflower chicken sandwich, but that doesn't start yet, so. I'm quite disappointed in this. The oat milk has no presence at all. No impact, nothing. Oat milk cold foam. Even tried to see what was going on at the bottom. Little to no impact. That is a disappointment. A true disappointment. And I don't know. It's just not. I don't like this coffee too much. It's just average coffee. The cold foam's not doing anything for it. I don't know. I can't give it so low of a ranking because it's not awful. It's not terrible, but the cold foam doing nothing. It did nothing. So I don't know. I don't know, folks. What should I give it? I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. I mean, the coffee's fair, but the cold foam it didn't last, it sank in, and then it didn't even have an impact. So big disappointment. So malted mocha, espresso, it's a mix of melted chocolate and milk, steamed milk, and then you got some malt powder. So malted milk powder. So we're just trying to see if this is anything like a Frosty would be, right? Like a coffee form of a Frosty. So let's try it. I can see it. I can see it. Again, I'm not loving it. And I think part of it is the fact that they took melted chocolate and mixed it with milk. So you've got that kind of dynamic. I feel like that's all of that being in there kind of interferes with this malted milk powder, because and espresso too. So you've got a lot going on in there that kind of interferes with the malt. Like there's a bit much. Like there's nothing wrong with having chocolate, but I feel like milk and chocolate and espresso just make it for a hard earned presence for the malt, right? But it's fair and it's unique. I definitely like that the malt is there, it's present. And I like the uniqueness. I just think, again, they could have done a little bit more with this. So this is my second time going to Caribou Coffee. I think the first time was slightly better, if not significantly better. But I haven't found myself extremely impressed. I haven't found myself like, crazy over this. And I've had that happen with other chains. And then, I keep going, and at some point, it's like, bam, wow, that was great. So we're just going to have to just see how things go. I would give this a 7, by the way. It's like it's like you took a weak version of a Frosty and mixed it in here. I would probably prefer a Frosty-ccino. Just my opinion. But, yeah, I mean, these items are just okay for the most part. So, I don't know if anyone out there loves Caribou Coffee, but I would just say stay tuned for my next review, because nothing here really stood out extremely so. And a lot of these items are going to be around. They're not going anywhere. I think the ones concerned would be the red velvet. And again, I didn't find myself loving it. So, other than that, we'll be back. We'll be back. I'm not going to give up on you, Caribou Coffee. You're going to have some interesting items, and I'm going to give you a chance to prove to me that your brand is really good. I mean, you got a bougie brand. I like how you do things. It's a really nice storefront, and I think you've got kind of like a Starbucks-esque kind of layout to you. I just need to see you guys line up quality-wise. Now, does anyone have any recommendations that goes to Caribou? Do y'all have any recommendations on an item I should try that's not limited time, that might kind of steer my opinion in a positive direction? Just let me know in the comments. I know it's hard to find anyone in my kind of base, in my fan base, that, goes to these smaller chains. But if anyone out there goes to Caribou and has advice for me, drop it in the comments. All right, other than that, I'll see y'all around. Yay!